I do it afterwards. And generally, it's one of those things where your instinct is your unconscious has been working on it and meditating on it without you even knowing. And if you're roughly in the right zone and your imagination has worked well enough, then you'll get it right. You'll have got it right, you know, and your instincts. I mean, obviously, you know, there's technical information like guns and ammunition where you do have to know a little bit about it. But you see, this is different for different people, because I don't care, actually. I don't care about the gun as long as I believe in it. You know, a gun, you know, so if someone has a gun, well, find out what the gun is, you know, okay, enough if the character who's describing it would recognize a gun. But don't go on about it. Don't give us what the ammunition is, and don't give us and where they got the gun, and because the more you explain it, the less we believe it, you know. You don't have to justify things to an incredible length, because most people are willing to take them on trust unless you go on about it.
Well, research, I think, is very important. The beauty of being a writer, and this is something I've discovered after a couple of books, is that you can write about any subject in the world. I didn't have the confidence to know that early on, but I think this is important for anybody starting out. You can write about anything that you want as long as you research thoroughly, and that really opens up the whole world to you. Now, I think you have a responsibility as a writer that if you are taking on a subject matter that you don't know very much personally about, to do absolutely thorough research. Because don't forget, don't underestimate your reader. They're going to know if you haven't researched properly. So research is very, very important to me. It's actually part of it that I love because it's so interesting. And I tend to become very immersed in my topics, and sometimes maybe a bit too immersed. For example, I wrote a book where one of the characters had an eating disorder. She had anorexia. So I started researching anorexia. And with this book about anorexia, I became so bogged down with my research that my first draft ended up becoming almost like a manual on what to do if your child has anorexia. But I was so immersed in it, I didn't see it. And then when my editor came back and she said, look, it's just not working. It's just, you've squashed all your research into the book. And so that's another learning lesson for me. I realized that of 100% research you do, you may only use 15%. But none of it is wasted because the research you have done is giving you the confidence to talk about the subject anyway. So no research is wasted. So research, very important. I find it very enjoyable. There are two things you need to be careful of. Don't do too much because you could be doing it for years. You need to crack on with the book at some point. And second of all, don't try and squash it all into the book.